Welcome to another video related to unsymmetrical bending. In previous videos, we have already seen what is unsymmetrical bending and two cases of unsymmetrical bending. Let us recall that. So first case is as the section is symmetric and load is not along any centroidal axis that may be inclined. Then we can see unsymmetrical bending. And another case is the section is unsymmetric and the load is along any along or parallel to any centroidal axis. These two cases we have already seen. And for any section we need to focus on what are the stresses, where is the neutral axis and deflection. We need to find out all these. Let us get into that and let us find out the first one, stresses in unsymmetrical bending. So for that, let me take any random section, any section, and it is having some centroidal axis x and y, xx and yy, and principal axis, as we have already seen principal moments of inertia, and we are talking the principal axis as uu and vb. So let me take them as uu and vb are the new axis, new set of axes which were shifted by the angle theta anticlockwise, right? And as this is theta, this is also theta. And one more, the moment is being acted along the y plane. So moment is acting here. So this is the case. But we have to calculate unsymmetrical bending, so we have to consider the new set of axes. So in order to calculate the new set of axes, we have to find out what are the share of or the components of bending moment along these two axes. For that, we need to resolve it into components. So let me take, so bending moment here m, and this is at angle theta, that is v, let me say axis, and this u I am drawing it here in order to form a right angle triangle. This is u, and this is opposite side, this is adjacent side, this is hypotenuse. And what is sine theta here? Sine theta is adjacent, opposite side by adjacent, opposite side by hypotenuse. What is opposite side here? U by hypotenuse is m. U is equal to m sine theta. So here at this, on this y plane, this component of m will be m sine theta, and cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. What is adjacent side here? V by hypotenuse is m. V is equal to m cos theta, right? That is along V, this is m cos theta. We need to find out now stresses along these two planes. So if you remember the pure bending theory, you have this equation, m by I is equal to sigma by y is equal to is E by R. So from that, how will you calculate the stress? Sigma is equal to m by I into y. So that was what we have, you have already considered is m by I xx into y, moment of inertia about x axis into y, when the load is along the, on the y plane and along x plane. So it will bend like this. So you have to find out the moment of inertia about x axis. The same concept we are using here, but it is about new axis, shifted axis we have to consider. That's it. So let me take, now let me consider the bending stresses due to moment in the plane uu. So in the plane uu, so what is the moment here? In the place of m, I will write m sine theta, m sine theta by ixx is here. So what we have to consider? So along this plane it is bending, so it is bending from the axis, bending up to some distance from the axis vv. So in similarly, as the load is along a y axis here, we have to consider moment of inertia about x axis, because along the x axis it is bending, neutral axis will bend in this manner from this v. So ivv into, and the distance we are considering in this line, in this direction, that is small u, because these two axes are p, this is u and this is v. So we are considering small u here. And similarly, can you tell me what are the bending stresses due to this movement along the plane bv? So that is m cos theta by iuu into v. This is m cos theta into moment of inertia about u axis multiplied by distance v in this direction. That's it. So in order to calculate the resultant stresses, resultant sigma, let me say, that will be this plus sum of sigma u plus sigma v. So m sin theta by IVV into u plus m cos theta by IUU into v. So that I will write it as m taken common, that is u sin theta by IVV plus v cos theta by IUU. So remember that, that is about resultant stresses. That is over. Now we need to find out neutral axis. Okay, before that, what is u and what is v? So you have found out what is x dash, right? X cos theta is equal to, in the previous video while we are calculating principal moments of inertia, we have taken this plus y sin theta. That is about shifted axis. That shifted axis we are considering it as small u. That's it. And y dash is y cos theta minus x sin theta. So that is nothing but v, small v. So if you apply these two, you will get it. Let us now find out the position of neutral axis. Second parameter we have to calculate neutral axis. So in order to find out the neutral axis, what is the condition? So you may have seen in a previous semesters the stress diagram like this. So according to the loading conditions, one side it is compressive, another side it is compressive. At the neutral axis, what is happening? The stresses will become zero. So that is the main criteria we have to consider. Stresses will be zero at the neutral axis, that we have to consider. What are the stresses we have initially? So m into that sigma resultant, we have got it as m into u sin theta by IVV plus v cos theta by IUU is equal to 0. So m will be m multiplied by 0 is 0. So ultimately that is u sin theta by IVV plus uv cos theta by v cos theta by IUU is equal to 0. So I will write it as u sin theta by IVV is equal to minus v cos theta by IUU. So let me take it here. V, I will write it as minus v is equal to IUU by IVV. So IUU comes here by IVV, and what is remaining here? U is remaining and sin theta cos theta is remaining. So sin theta by cos theta comes here, cos theta into U, this U. So sin theta by cos theta is tan theta, IUU by IVV into tan theta into U. So that is V. If you, I will write it as again. Okay, let me put it like this. Y is equal to mx. That is in the form of y is equal to mx. That means v is equal to, some v is equal to m into u. So let me put minus here. Okay, v is equal to mu. If you take it like this, what happens to m? That is minus iuu by IVV tan theta. So y is equal to mx is a straight line equation where m represents the slope. Slope is nothing but we consider it as tan theta. Is it tan alpha? Let me say tan alpha is equal to minus iuu by IVV into tan theta. So now alpha will be equal to tan inverse minus iuu by IVV tan theta. So that is about the neutral axis. You will get it in minus negative. That means if you look at the neutral axis, so let me draw the existing equation axis x, y, and the new axis. Let me change the color here. Okay, new axis are, this is u, this is v. Now as it is negative, so it will come here. So neutral axis will be maybe in this line. That is the neutral axis. So it is not very good, but it is in the direction. Please adjust to see that. Here, this is the neutral axis. This is the neutral axis. Negative side, right? It will come. This is alpha from the x-axis. So this is alpha. That is a neutral axis. NA. That is the location of neutral axis. So while doing the problems, you have to decide how you have to draw the neutral axis. There you will understand it much better while working with the numericals. As of now, the concept is this. That is about the neutral axis, and last we left with the deflection in the unsymmetrical bending. So how will you calculate the deflection? If you remember, uh, let me draw the diagram again. So we are calculating deflection. Deflection, again, this is our body, and this is x old axis, x new axis will be, let me draw new axis. Sorry. Okay, let me draw the new axis, UU and VB. This is U, this V. So in the notes it was given clearly. Please go and see the notes. The notes link is given in the description of video. You can go there and download it. Okay. Now what will happen? So if you apply the load like this, let me say the load is being applied in this manner. Load is being applied in this manner. Why? So in the previous slide we have taken the moment. So in the same place let me take W. So if you remember, in the same process if we follow, this will be W cos theta, sorry, W sin theta, and this will be W cos theta. In the same way we have to resolve the components what we have done it for moments. And if the load is acting in this manner, as we are calculating deflection we are considering load, that's it. So if you the load is being acted in this VV plane, what will happen? It will, the deflection will be like this. So let me say the deflection will be delta V, and along U, W sin theta is acting, and the deflection will be delta U, and their resultant will be somewhere, that is delta. So that is about the picture. So how shall we calculate? Let us see. So delta U, let me say, if you remember, uh, just a minute. Okay. If you remember, delta U is equal to, I will write simply as delta U is equal to K into W sin theta into L cube by EIVV. Let me explain what are the parameters here. So K. So simply, if I ask you what is the deflection for simply supported beam carrying point load at the center, what will you say? Delta is equal to WL cube by 48 EI. So apart from WLE and I, you have a constant that is 1 by 48. So that is nothing but K. So I'm just representing K. That can be applicable for any any type of beam. Based on its end conditions, the value of K will be determined. So if it is the simply supported beam with the point load at the center, the K value will be 1 by 48. And if this first same simply supported beam carrying UDL over the span, WL power 4 by 5WL power 4 by 384 EI. So then what is the K value? 5 by 384, like that. So according to end conditions, the K value will be determined, right? And remaining WL cube by EI. So W is the load acting here. So the load along this VV will be uh, load along VV will be W sin theta. Sorry, load along U, right? U will be W sin theta into L cube. Okay, that's okay. That is the length by E Young's modulus and IVV. IVV, because the deflection will happen in this manner, that is deflecting from the line V. So you have to consider moment of inertia about V axis because the deflection is away from this V axis in the plane U, that is delta U. In a similar manner, can you tell me what is delta V? Delta V, now K is common, and what is the load? Here, this W cos theta into L cube by, this is deflect E into moment of inertia along moment of inertia along v about u axis, I u u. So when you say about, it is away from that, away from respective line I am talking about, because moment of inertia is nothing but uh, the area of the element multiplied by the square of distance up to the axis. So it is deflecting from the axis, so we have to consider moment of inertia about that axis, right? When you are talking about delta v, that is uh, that is deflecting in the plane of v but about u axis, so you have to consider moment of inertia about u axis, that's it. So when you have the lines like in this manner, so how will you calculate the resultant? You can form a right angle triangle from this, and this so say the angle is beta. So when you say the resultant, so you can form a right angle triangle from this. So this is delta V, this is delta, and this is beta, and this is U, and I'm drawing it here, delta U, right? This is delta. So if you calculate that, tan theta will be delta U by delta V. Opposite side, adjacent side, hypotenuse in the same manner. When you have this, what will be the resultant delta here? Pythagoras theorem, side square plus side square. Resultant will be, let me say, delta will be equal to under root side square, that is delta u square plus delta v square. So let me put it like this. Let me write it here. Delta is equal to under root k into w sine theta into L cube by E into IVV whole square plus k into w cos theta L cube by E into IVV whole square. So you can common kwL cube whole square is common in both cases. So let me write it like this. E also common. So let me write it here. K taken common. Kw. I am taking out of the root. I am not considering the square. KWL cube by E and under root sine theta by IVV plus cos theta by IUU. Right? That is the deflection. And we have to find out what is the direction. What is the direction of this resultant axis, the resultant deflection? So tan beta, what will be tan beta from this right angle triangle? Opposite side by adjacent side. What is opposite side? Delta u, and adjacent side will be delta v. Okay, now what is delta u? So you have delta u as this much, delta v as this much. Let us substitute. Tan beta is equal to kw sine theta L cube by E into I V V by kw cos theta into L cube by E into I U U, right? So you can cancel L cube, L cube, kw E E, and what remaining is delta is equal to, sorry, tan beta is equal to, let me write it here, tan beta is equal to sine theta by I V V by cos theta in by IUU. So let me put it in this manner, sine theta by IVV into cos IVV by IUU by cos theta. So this will be sine theta by cos theta will be tan theta, and this will be IUU by IVV. Now beta is equal to tan inverse. Uh, Due to the problem in pen, I am writing almost similar VV and UU, but if you listen to me, you will understand. Please adjust about that. Tan inverse this IUU by IVV into tan theta. So that is a beta, that is direction of the deflection, resultant deflection for this unsymmetrical bending. So these are the parameters we have to focus when we are dealing with the different sections. So there is no homework today. From in the next video onwards, we shall solve some numerical problems. If you have any doubt in this, please let me know. You have my mail ID with you, I hope, hopefully. If not, this is my mail ID, madhurimonica@gmail.com. Okay, that is all for today. Thanks for watching.